Hi guys, I come to you from under my stairs today just to show you what I've got happening here. I in the past have tried to have a good sort of little stockpile of things should we ever require some backup staples, food and toiletries and whatnot in case of financial hardship. Now, I've never built up a huge stockpile, and certainly with a large family. Now we have 10, almost 11 people in our family, and I have just realized thinking of sort of stockpiling 6 months to a year's worth of food is just does my head in a bit. So what I really want to focus on this time, and it's the start of a year, I don't believe in New Year's resolutions, but it just, you feel like it's a fresh start at the start of the year. So I'm starting afresh because everything dwindled down to basically nothing. And I'm focusing on a 3-month supply. I'm focusing on the things that we eat and not being too over the top about having to have heaps and heaps of meat frozen or anything like that. At the moment I'm just trying to stock up on things, pantry staples. So if we have to be vegetarian for 3 months, then so be it. We can deal with that. Okay, now I do have a couple of freezers plus a deep freezer, so I have plenty of room for pre-prepared meals that I do often. I have not yet put that video up. I don't know if I'll do it before this one or after this one, but a few months ago, it's really going on 3 months ago now, I did this big cook up, and I still haven't uploaded it, so I'll show you that. And I've still actually got a couple of those meals in my deep freezer that we're going to be having this week. But I look, to go 3 months without doing a freezer, any freezer meal prep is a long time for me. So it's just been that. I think during summer, we eat a lot more sort of just basic meat and salad sort of thing. So I don't tend to utilize casseroles and chilies and that sort of thing that I might freeze. So, but certainly every time I have a baby, I do a massive freezer cooking not session, but for weeks I plan and I freeze and I plan and I cook and I freeze and I end up with a good 6 weeks worth of dinners and extra things as well. So coming up to that, I'm in my 23rd week of pregnancy. Usually I start freezer meal prepping around the 28-week mark, so I will certainly take you on board for that ride. It's a bit of fun. For now though, I am just showing you what I have going under my stairs. As I said, I'm just starting afresh. Now this stuff, and I've got you pointed towards cans for a long time, very boring, sorry about that. So this stuff that I'll show you here, and going over here, as I said, we're under stairs, so it's a bit of a funny shape, and I'll stand up shortly and show you things a bit better. But all this stuff that I'm showing you here is stuff that I already had in my house. Okay, this is not me trying to stockpile. I'd really hadn't been doing that for basically an entire year. I got off track with it. So this is stuff that I just had a lot of. So it's great. It's encouraged me having, going around my house, seeing what I already have in the pantry and in the cupboards and that sort of thing that's just taking up room and we don't have the room for it in the kitchen, and bringing it under here, finding a space for it and going, okay, so this is what I've got, and gives me a good platform from which to think of what I need to get now. Also yesterday we did a Costco shop as a family. We spent way too much money because it's the school holidays, and my husband went along and he was hungry. But I've added just a few things from that Costco shop, not too much. And if you watch the Costco haul video, which again is probably going to be uploaded just before this one, a day before probably, then you'll notice the items that I purchased at Costco yesterday. So I've put Costco items under here that we don't need immediately, that we've already got. You know, for instance, the Dijon mustard. I've already got half of one of those open in the fridge. I didn't really need it. I just like to have extra. And for me, I would probably go through one of those every 3 months. So for now, I'm happy to have one massive jar of Dijon. That's a 3-month supply of that item that I use a lot of. So now, anyway, I'm going to take you through. I've actually got some potatoes and fish in the oven at the moment, so I can't take too long because you don't want your fish to burn. Now, this little storage unit, they're individual crates and then they stack on top of one another. So I've got 3 crates there. They're just something I picked up the other day at Kmart. They were $7 each, so $21 for that situation that you see there. Not ideal for what I'm using it for. Because they're quite small, they're very sturdy and strong for having lots of cans on them, but they're not a great shape. They're not quite big enough for cans either, but for now it's working. What I really want to do is get some good shelving units that go right across the corner and up right to here, that come to this height where that stair comes to, and then that will be for cans, and it'll fit a lot more cans. Then under here, this is my storage of toilet paper at the moment. It's a bit sad, isn't it? So I haven't started that yet, but all under here, and there's lots of space that goes back down under there. I've got all sorts of crap, like old DVDs and that sort of thing, and records and things. So I'm going to clear all that out another day, and that will be where I store toilet paper. Now, the other thing is that I'll just discuss before showing you everything. Water. This is the only water I have stored. I have more in the kitchen that we might, you know, actually utilize soon. But the other thing is the idea of stockpiling enough water for our family for 3 months, even for 3 weeks, is insanely stressful. I don't know where on earth I would store it. I've got no clue. Like, let me know if you think. But the thing is, I'm not stockpiling this stuff for the zombie apocalypse, okay? I'm just not. I don't think anything like that is going to happen. What I do think could happen is that we're flat broke for whatever reason for a while. That's not to say that we're not going to pay our water bill, all right? That's to say that, you know, I want to have a good amount of food available. The other thing is I'm going to use this food in the meantime anyway. This is all stuff we eat, and I'm simply going to rotate it. I'm going to buy things on sale. We're going to use it. We're going to rotate it. I'm going to buy more on sale. And that way, it's not just about having stuff for an emergency, for a financial crisis. It's about, in everyday reality, saving money. Because I'm going to be shopping from my pantry. And, you know, that's a very common thought and theme. Now, I understand you're not supposed to store water on concrete. That's been there for literally 10 minutes. So I will be lifting it up off the floor. So my thought is I want probably 3 times the amount of water that I have now. It's not very much. No, it's not. What I want water for is for days that, okay, we're going on a nature's walk and we're all having to rush out the door and people really need water, or someone is going on a sporting day at school and we're running late, and I go, there's water under the stairs, go get a bottle. Okay, so in a practical everyday sense, that's what it's going to be for. What I have experienced in the past is the water company turning the water off for like an entire day to do waterworks and us not even being informed. Now that might be annoying if you have 2, 3, 4 people in your house. When you have 10 or 11 people in your house, it becomes, you know, a bit problematic, especially if you've also, for anyone, if you've, you know, you've got guests over, you wouldn't want it to happen at that time. So I want to stock enough water that if the water is shut off for a day or 2, look, it'd be great if I could get enough water in case the water is shut off for 3 days because there's some weird disaster, but I'm not going to plan for more than that because the chance of that happening stresses me out a lot less because it's so minute than actually trying to stockpile that much water for 11 people. And that's how I feel about that now. My thoughts may change. I may become more knowledgeable. You might give me some tips. That's my thought at the moment. I'm doing this as an everyday practical thing, not so much an all-out prepper sort of thing. Okay, so I'm going to take you through what I've got so far, just so you can see what sort of crap I already had around my house. Alright, so I'll start with the cans. So up here I have beans and legumes, and there's not enough space for all of this. I need to actually purchase a lot more of these because we go through these. Someone's been moving things. We go through these. A child's been. I've already sorted things out that a child has been playing with, but I didn't notice that. We go through a lot of beans and legumes and things like that in cooking, and so this is like a basic supply for us. This is sort of like, you know, 2-3 weeks. This is nothing major at all. So I need a lot more. But this is just the start. This is just the stuff I already had, okay? So, you know, things like chili beans and baked beans and red kidney beans and chickpeas and lentils and cannellini beans, that sort of thing, all there. And then here, and you know, I got a lot of that sort of stuff half price. And so the chili beans and the Heinz beans creations, all of that sort of stuff I got half price. So I stocked up at the time. That's why I got quite a few little cans of those. But anyway, these, I have a lot of tuna. That goes back 1, 2, 3 rows and is 4 high. So I have a lot of tuna. Most of that is lemon and cracked pepper, which I love, and I got it really cheap at NQR a few months ago. So that's wonderful, shelf stable. And then, but I do prefer it with oil, so I've got a few cans of that I got like half price. And then I've got a large salmon at the back and a couple of medium salmons, and they're red salmon. I only eat red salmon. So I've got a good amount of tuna. But I don't have any large tins of tuna at the moment, which I normally have for like pastas. So these are more for sandwiches. So anyway, I still need a lot more tuna. I'm in a small space here and I have a bit of a belly. So, okay. So then I've got, this is sort of just some fruits. I got these, the cherries and the blueberries on like super sale, like 60-70% off. A few months ago. And what I do with those, I don't like to buy fruit in syrup and all that sort of thing, but they're basically, I bought them to use as a dessert. So I've made cherry ice cream, like an ice cream pudding in the past as a summer treat, and people absolutely go crazy for it. So that's just that sort of thing. The crushed pineapples for pineapple jam predominantly, and I only have a couple of cans because I actually opened it just to use on pizzas and stuff. I had a bunch of cans and I've used them. And then pineapple chunks are what we normally use on pizza. So sorry, I'm puffed out. So I need a lot more crushed pineapple because I need to make some more jam. Anyway, down here I have about 8 things of diced tomatoes. I only have 1 thing of beetroot, I think, and I've got a couple of cans of corn there. So that's just basically some canned vegetables. We don't actually eat many canned vegetables. It's mainly tomatoes, the odd can of corn, and I love beetroot, so I buy cans of that. But yeah, we don't really go for canned peas and beans and carrots and all that sort of stuff. I either have them fresh or frozen. Okay. Then I've got more fruit here. We use a lot of these larger tins of fruit. The pineapples I do a fruit crumble with. I've got a video on that. Apricots, sometimes I'll use them in a crumble. I probably got them on sale because normally tinned apricots are not something I can get so much. The tinned peaches are what we eat mostly, and I seem to only have 1 can of that. I don't know why. I thought we had more. Anyway, and then a fruit salad. Sometimes that's good if we don't have any fresh fruit left over. I'll crack one of those open and divvy it up into little containers for the kids to take to school. So we need a lot more of that sort of stuff. A lot more. Then I have some random things here. We're not big on canned soups or any canned food really. Just stuff that pretty much everyone eats in a can, like tuna. and diced tomatoes, that sort of thing. So, but these are just some random things, like, you know, someone, I think I got that for Ava when she had some dental work, and, you know, so it's just left over. And then in here I have some like pepper strips and mushrooms, and this is the chicken breast. I have 4 of those. I got them ages ago, and they're fine. I just sort of forget that we have them, so I'll utilize stuff a lot more now that it's in this space, I feel, and that I've organized this space so I can actually get in here. Then I have a bunch of coconut milks and creams. I do use that, you know, fairly often. And then I have just three lousy cans of cream of mushroom soup that I would use occasionally in recipes, so I would need some more of those. So these my husband chose yesterday at Costco. They're a huge thing of the 2-minute noodles, like nasi goreng. 30 packets of them was about $10. That was good, and he loves it, and I do too, but we won't talk about it. So I've got 1 extra thing of laundry detergent. Now I have like more than 1 bottle in my actual laundry, but that is like, I've made my mind up that that is my first bottle of laundry detergent that I'm stockpiling, so it's there. Okay, and it's good to remind myself of what sort of things I want to stock, so it's just there as it on its lonesome at the moment. Then the tomato ketchups, I got those. They're individual sauce sachets that I got at NQR at some point. They're so handy, especially to pop in lunchboxes and stuff. That's 10 litres of full cream milk there, the long life, and I'll be getting a lot more of that because it'll come in really handy if we ever, you know, feel broke. Now, that's a huge thing of orange marmalade. I also have a big case of plum jam, I believe. Again, I got them at NQR, and they're 300 portion serves in little sachets, you know, like hotels and stuff have. So they were dirt cheap. It was like $3 for the box. It worked out a lot cheaper than buying any sort of jar of jam. And even though I make my own jams, it was just so cheap. And I thought, well, that's really handy for camping and that sort of thing as well. Now, these here are fantastic. You may have seen them in previous NQR hauls. I've got 3 lots. They go right back, and then at the back on the other side too. So I've got 3 lots of 7, I think. Yeah, 3 packets. So I've got 21 of these. For 21 of these, I paid $4.50. Now, it's soup. It's chicken and vegetable soup. You just add water. It's like condensed in sachet things. But it is so natural. It tastes homemade, and really what it is a stock. It's a fantastic stock, and I add it to stews. So for me, instead of having, I make my own chicken stock too. Whenever we have sort of roast chicken or whatever, I just make my own stock with the bones. But if I don't have that or whatever, I'd rather use this than the cartons of chicken stock. So basically that is, you know, in lieu of chicken stock cartons, and takes up a lot less room. My Dijon mustard, then extra virgin coconut oil, huge thing of it, 1.5 litres, and that would be a 3-month supply for me. These are soft drinks. We don't drink soft drink in this house, really. My husband likes some Coke every now and then, but these are left over from Christmas, and I certainly buy it when we're entertaining, having birthday parties, that sort of thing. So that's just what's there. There's six bottles of it, including I think 1 bottle of soda water, which I do drink, just the one that's without sugar. Then a 6-pack of passata sauce, and I would get more of that because I'd go through more than that in 3 months, so I need to get more of that. Okay, on this shelf I have one measly packet of pasta. That would do half a meal for our family, but it's there to remind me that I need to stock up on that a lot. We don't eat huge amounts of pasta, probably once a week. So I don't have to go crazy with it, but you know, that's still about 26 packets if we have it once a week. So I do need to get a lot more than what I have. A peanut butter, that's the type that I like, but I've already got some in my kitchen, so I could put that back here. And I bought this honey specifically for this under the stairs for storage. It's 3 kilo of honey, came at a good price, and it's something that's great to store. Honey never goes off, basically. Big thing of taco seasoning. Coffee Mate, I don't like it. I tried it just to try it. I don't like it. This is the second one. It came in a 2-pack, so I don't know. I'll probably give that to someone. I got this half price. I got 2 of them and I put one back here. At the moment, I don't really tend to drink sugary drinks, but as sort of a treat, I've just been really feeling like iced tea. So anyway, and then 2 cake mixes. I must have got them half price or something. If I make anything like that, I make it double, and that I just bought that for the kids to make at some point, but they haven't, so I've put it back there. And that's still got, like, something like this I'd probably use by its use by date, but it's not used by until August. Big closed tin of shortbread type cookies. Okay, the salsa I love from Costco, an extra table salt, iodized. Few jars of tomato paste. I would need a lot more tomato paste. That's probably the right amount of salsa for the 3 months. So these are something I got half price. I thought the kids would like, and they just haven't had them. So now they're, you know, in plain view. We can more easily see them and decide to have them. A couple of packets of popcorn, and then there's just some like French onion mix and a couple of risottos. And these I quite like to use every now and then. They're more expensive than making your own rice, but they serve me and my husband brown rice, then we put it with some other healthy ingredients, and it's a good quick meal. And then I've got a lot of oats and a lot of porridge sachets, the quick oats. I've got lots of those. Probably, I think I've got 5 or 6 of these, which is 60 sachets, and then a bunch of these. These I got at Costco, these I got at NQR. I need a lot more cereal. My kids love cereal, and I certainly want to stockpile a lot more oats, because we could basically just live on oats. And then the last shelf is, oops, I don't know why that's up there. I've got some onion and some cinnamon. They should be down there. Okay, the last shelf, I've got some toiletries, just some toothpastes, and I got these at Costco yesterday. It's glue sticks, so it's just random things. I've got some scotch tape, lots of light bulbs, back there. Toothbrushes, I've got another couple of toothbrushes to add to that today too. A few soaps, that sort of thing. And then I've got some serviettes and some drop sheets, which, you know, can be good for all sorts of uses. I buy them because I have home births, so they're good to put over your bed and that sort of thing, but I end up with extra, and they're just good for if you're going camping, or if you need to, there's sort of flooding in your property and you need to, or whatever. And this says, so ideal for painting, but protecting furniture, floors, carpets and tiles, protecting driveways from oil spills, and covering broken windows. So it's just something handy to have. And then just some cups, tissues, disposable gloves, sandwich bags, vacuum bags. I've got some dishwasher powder, tablecloths, and boot care stuff, just because, you know, it was just hanging around. I've got a big sack of rice here. Obviously this is not a food shelf, so it shouldn't be up here, and I'll move it. It's just a big 5 kilo thing of brown rice. And then at the back here I've got like some present-y things that I've got on a good price. So I've got a couple of those, you know, those scented stick things you put in bathrooms and stuff, and a candle. And I've got a couple of really cool little torches and just some kids party sort of stuff. So whether I use them in our own home or as gifts or whatever, because I know where they are now. And so one of the issues is that I don't know where I'm going to put everything when I really actually start, because I haven't started yet, apart from the few things I got at Costco yesterday. I really haven't started stockpiling it, so I'm going to have to come up with some really good storage solutions. I have this wall here as well, and at the moment, like, I have just random stuff, so I can clear all that out. Obviously under here I've got tools, and in that there, that's sort of like gardening stuff, pest control, just random things that we very rarely use. I can probably get rid of most of that and come up with more room. So anyway, but I thought I'd show you how things are sort of before I've started and then I'll give you sort of monthly updates or something like that, on how I'm going and how I'm going with figuring out where to put things. And yeah, if this is something you've been interested in doing and just wondering where you're going to put stuff, you know, I might give you some ideas, and hopefully people throw some ideas my way too. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I've got to check on this fish now that's in the oven, and until next time, take care. Bye bye.